Let's see if I can record before this battery dies. It's flashing red. Okay, last video of the week, and I'll do as far as I can take it, and then when I'm done I'll upload this today, and this is going to be started well. Started with a dead battery on the camera. A lot of door banging going on here. Oh, so bang, slam the doors. Hint, I'm fed up. It's usually why they do it. Whatever, get over yourselves. Anyhow, decided to make a start on the back. Only problem is when I started all of this, I forgot I ain't got any paintbrushes. So I'm now at the mercy of the weather, because by the time the paintbrushes get in my hands, it could end up being too cold for it to set. That's what I'm concerned about. But now that we've spent, what, 3 days drying this thing out, we really do. Is that moisture that's run down, or is that actually in there? It might actually be in there still. Yep. Right, so we've got to scrape that out before we glass up. For definite. This is what I've been up against, you see. If there's a crease or an orifice, it will find its way in. Absolutely guaranteed. There's your door slammer. Boom, boom. Anyway. Right. Is there a standing knife in here, or did I remove it and put it somewhere else? I removed it. Anyway, we need to cut that out. Yep, you are witnessing it. I am pulling the sealant because it has trapped some of it anyway. Moisture. Well, it's here we're doing, so right. Expect the fiberglass to go milky at that point. So we've cut in. I could do with going down a bit lower, but this was such a thin layer on there that I don't think I'll get away with it. So we'll cut some really thin pieces out and we'll just stack them. When it comes to doing some of these larger crevices like up here, what we'll do is we'll sprinkle some of those rovens in with the mixture to thicken it up a bit, and then we'll lay that on, and then we'll roll. It's going to have to be repainted anyway. Can't get out of it now. Originally we were going to put loads of aluminium, but I've since seen some of these older motorhomes with alley, and they look horrible. And I thought, even though I'm planning on painting them black, this is starting to become a slog, and as much as I want this and have been enjoying it, it is starting to become a pain in the arse, and it's now starting to drag its arse. So yeah, I might still go with the aluminium along here. I may put a thin layer of fiberglass over that just to help it, but I think there and down here especially will get alley, but on the back here I don't think so, because it's so uneven. Because I built it in separate stages, it hasn't really, every stage had to be as accurate as the first one, and that never happened. Something went wrong. Eyesight issues, I suppose. That's what I'm blaming. Old age and eyesight. But I don't care. I never built this to sell, so I built this to get out there and enjoy the countryside with the wife and the dog. so it doesn't really particularly matter how this looks as long as it's reasonably tidy. Would be nice to have a bit of value there, so when I'm done with it I could get shot, but you know, for now at least, no. Now I'm just waiting for paintbrushes. It's miserably cold. This is going to take a long while to cure, so I think the electric fire will probably come out and go on a stall and blow hot air to encourage it to go. The weather changes on Tuesday. Which will be good. Change them hinges on that door as well. I'm going to get some big stainless ones because those are horrendous. They're not working out very well. Not particularly keen on them. Not helped by the fact I put the door the wrong way around, which I did on purpose. So I was talking to the wife about this. It's a bit dark in here now, but I talked to the wife about this, and that was maybe put the cooker that side so the gas bottle can go on that side, because I don't want to trail loads of gas lines everywhere. But I still think it's probably better this side, just on the basis that there's a window there, and I have got water coming in again. Look! God! Where is that coming from? Because it ain't coming from here. Flipping hell, I'm getting fed up with that window. Do you know what? I'm going to smash that window out, I think. I'm just going to blank the hole off for the time being, at least, until I find something else to put in there. Because that is driving me up the wall. All of them are. A whole blooming lot of them. And that ain't the angle. Well, that ain't a help, but it isn't the angle. There's water getting behind here somewhere. I don't think it's getting inside. Is it getting inside? You can't really see. Bloody thing. Oh well, moving on. Oh, the irony. Remember I told you I drilled that hole out there, that one, to drain it. Well, I've just cleared all the sealant up because I couldn't help feel that water was getting down the back there and getting in and coming out. Can you see that hole? Is that visible to you? I don't know. You just see a little speckle of daylight there. I'll just put my finger over it. The hole I drilled. Ah, you flipping thick git. That went straight through. And that went, so all the water that's been draining out of that run has been going underneath and has been getting inside because there was a little cavity behind there for it to run around in. I've just dug that all out with a Stanley knife and a drill bit, and there it is. So that needs to dry out before I can do any more to it. So I think what I might do is put some tape over that hole, just give it a clean up, tape it up. Maybe, I don't know, I don't really know how I'm going to do this actually, because I can't put sealant in there until that wood is dry. And at the moment it's wet. May leave a window open then. What a pain in the butt. There you go. Quite pleased with that. So it's technically now made that area one complete unit. Bit high there, that's only because the woodwork came out a little further than it should have done. I have actually sanded it all back and gone quite thin in the wood, so no, that's good enough. So hopefully that'll hold and I'll get no more water through that area. If I do get water in, I am very suspicious that will be coming through those screws there, coming down the door. So what I need to do next is to get some door locks, top and bottom, so I can pull them doors in tight. I also need to replace those stupid aluminium hinges, they're horrible. Well, the steel hinges. I need to get rid of them. Look at the movement up there. Look. Terrible. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Junky flipping things. So, yeah. We'll see if we can't find... Bloody well got some on that, ain't I? But I can't take them off because lockers are fall off. So I need to get some hinges from somewhere. God knows what, God knows where. Tell you what I do have in the house though, some nice big wide piano style, but I'd have to cut into that to get it, you know, so I can get them flush, and I'd have to cut into the back of that because the hinge piece would stick out, so I don't think they're a good idea. I need to get rid of the drips. Oh, some of that's already gone hard, look. It's going. Hopefully it'll be enough. If not, we'll have to put some trim. I suspect I'm going to trim that anyway there. I suspect. Probably even on the bottom one as well, but I'm not doing that top one. Well, I said this one was going to be a quick video. Quick it is. Now that is still dripping. Where on earth is it coming from? I assumed I wonder if it's in this one then. That one. Along that channel. It's definitely coming under. That would have saturated. Dry all the way up there. So, I don't know. Weird, isn't it? If it comes to it, that take window out, throw away. I'll have to come up with something else that can go in there. I was thinking about taking them out anyway, at a later date at least, and putting in some proper UPVC style plastic windows, but with perspex instead of glass. But I don't know if I can find anything small enough. That is a nuisance, because it's made all the wood wet again. It's not running down there, so it's definitely coming from under there. It's definitely coming from under there. I did that to see if there's any water up there. If there was, it would come tumbling down, but it isn't. So I suspect, because there's a seam here, now that I've cleared all of that, all the water, I bet anything you want, the water that's still in that, yeah, soaked. Ooh. Okay, so the water in that trough is getting through that gap, because this piece here is joined. There's a big hole under there, to be honest with you. So yeah, okay. I've got to pull out that trim carefully up as far as the window slide at least, and clean all that trim up, clean that channel out, reseal inside this half, because that half's not leaking. Let's get that, remember that bit is not leaking. So if we were to chuck sealant down in that trench all the way in there and partly up there as well, we then put the trim back in when it's dried out, that should be enough, and we might need to drill through that hole again into the second channel, because I think the channel's filling up and it's not escaping. The only thing I can think of is to run a piece of aluminium along here wider to increase the height, if that's the issue that I'm getting. Ideally I could do with throwing these windows out, to be honest with you. what I should do. I think the next side to do after this is that one, and that one, and that one, and that one's the most important one because the water's getting through and it's getting in on the seat area. So yeah, we'll do that one and then we'll go up on that, and we'll do that top piece as well, and we'll go around that corner, and then when we're done that, we'll move on to that one because we've got to go all the way to the front with that. That's leaking as well. And then at some point I've got to cut into those and somehow try and blank them off with what I don't know. I don't know what to do about them at the moment. So there you go. Right, that's it. Thanks to the views on the last one. I don't know what they are, I ain't checked lately. They were low when I started, they might have gone up since. You can see where this is all heading now. So this is the last video of the week. Tomorrow I'm going to head off, try and find some angle iron, and now I've started doing all these corners down here, we can now start thinking about building the legs. So I want to put a piece of angle iron over this area here with another piece of angle iron welded on top of that, so there's a piece sticking out either that way or that way. I ain't made my mind up yet. And then those blocks you saw me cutting in the last video, they're getting welded onto the tube. There'll be holes drilled and then they'll literally go side by side with bolts bolted in. So the only time they're going to be on this is literally when I need to lift it off the back. Just about, the question is though, whereabouts are we putting them? Probably the best place, subject to the motor height, will be about there, because then I can come off of here and catch the top of that electric motor with a bracket of some sort, so we can do an angle there with a big nut welded, a bolt hole or something welded on there that can join that motor on. So these outer sleeves that I've got to go on here are all going to be pre-cut to that length, so I don't have to jack this thing up in the air to get it to work. But when we do the actual sleeves themselves to go inside, sorry, the tubes to go inside the sleeves, they've got to be made full size. So I've got to measure from the floor to the drop tailgate, right, and I've got to add that into the overall length of here as well. So when this is ready to go on the back, we've got to literally lift that up to the height. We've got to get a jack, stack it up with tyres until we get it the right height, and then we can bolt each leg on, and then we can jack it up again, drag all the tyres out, build some trestles to go underneath it for winter storage, and then we can drop it down on the trestles, and then we're going to make up some separate legs that are permanently bolted on over the winter period. So those can come off, go in the back, so the motors don't get damaged from moisture, and then the preload legs, as I'm going to call them, will come out at an angle, and they'll kind of look a little bit like a, I don't know, a lunar pod or something, but it's a necessary evil. Winds can get quite tragic up here. And I also got to make a drop down leg for the bed space, because if we do end up at a campsite and I do need this off and we do end up spending a night in it off the truck, I don't want the bed space flopping over. So I've also got to think that out. I don't want that idea, it's a bit dodgy, I'm a bit worried about that one, but it's something I'm going to try and put into practice anyway. I mean, if it comes to the bottom foot, can have a bolt on arm come off and support it underneath anyway. One way or the other, we can figure out ratchet straps, whatever. It don't really matter, do it? We'll figure it out. So that's it. Right, I'll see you next week, guys. You can see where this is heading, subject to weather. I'll see how much more I can get done. Don't want to do any more today. It's getting cold now. Getting too cold for glass fibre, and I knew it would. But I've got everything I need. So we can plod on one day a week. We'll just get a little bit more done, get an evolution blade, cut some aluminium so we can make the trims up as well. That old bit of nasty checker plate, I would like to liberate that stuff, if I'm honest about it, and put that on, but getting that off is going to be a mare. Right, moving on, laters.